Hi everyone, myself Dr. P. Soumya, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering College. So in this session, I'm going to cover the topic environmental legislations, Environment Protection Act 1996, Air Act 1981. So in this session, I'm going to cover the topic Acts, Environmental Protection Act 1996 and Air Act 1981. So what is environment legislations means environmental laws. Environment legislations means environmental laws. These are the laws that protect the environment. Environment legislations are laws. So these are the laws that protect the environment. Environmental law, it is a collection of laws, regulations, agreements, and common law that governs how humans interact with their environment. So these environmental laws, so these are the collection of laws, regulations, agreements, and common law that governs how humans interact with their environment. So it is a common law that governs the humans, how humans interact with their environment. So environment legislation, environmental laws, so these are the laws that protect the environment. So this environmental laws are it law is the collection of laws, regulations, agreements, and the common law. So that governs how humans are interact with their environment. So this includes environmental regulations, laws governing management of natural resources such as forests, minerals, or fisheries, and related topics such as environmental impact assessment. So environmental legislations include environmental regulations, laws governing management of. So here these are includes environmental regulations, environmental laws. These governing management of natural resources such as forest, mineral sources, and fisheries, and also related sources such as environmental impact assessments. So this environmental law, it is seen as a body of law concerned with the protection of living things from the harm that human activity may immediately or eventually cause to them or their species, either directly or to the media and the habits on which they depend. So this is environmental law. It is seen as the body of laws. So these are concerned with the protection of living things. So environmental laws are the laws which are used for the protection of environment. So it is a Environment Protection Act 1996. So National Environmental Policy. So we have to discuss about National Environmental Policy. So the government of India, this is constituted a central board for prevention and control of various pollution acts such as Water Act in 1974, Air Act in 1981, uh, and Environment Protection Act in 1986. So here National Environment Policy. So the government of India, this is constituted a central board for prevention and control of various pollution acts such as Water Act, Air Act, Environmental Protection Act. So several other acts and rules were also enacted accordingly. So all the state governments also constituted pollution control boards in their respective states and accepted in their legislative assemblies. So several other acts and rules were these also enacted accordingly. So all the state governments also constituted pollution control boards in their respective states, and these are accepted in their legislative assemblies. So the Act, the Environmental Protection Act 1986, so the Act came into the force on November 19th, 1986. So the Act came into the force on November 1986. So environment, this includes interrelationship between uh, biotic and abiotic components. So here, biotic, abiotic components, the environment includes So this is having an interrelationship between biotic and abiotic components. So here, any solid or liquid, any solid, liquid or gaseous substances present in such a concentration, so which is injurious to the environment, it is called as environmental pollution. So any solid or liquid or gaseous substance present in the environment in such concentration in such concentration which is injurious to the environment. So the substance which is injurious, which is harm to the environment, so that is called as environmental pollution. So the act has given powers to the central government to take measures to protect and improve environment, while state government to coordinate the actions. So here the act has given powers to the central government. So this Environmental Protection Act, so this has given the powers to the central government to take measures to protect and to take the measures of the protect and to improve the environment, to take the measures to protect and also improve the environment, while the government coordinate the actions, while the state government coordinate the actions. But the environmental protection, so this has given powers to the central government. So here the standards of quality, so this the sta- this the act has given powers to the central government to take measures to protect and improve environment, while the state government coordinate the actions. So these are different actions. So the standards of air, quality of air, water or soil are for various areas, and the maximum permissible limits of concentration of various environmental pollutants for different areas. So the procedures and safeguards for the handling of hazardous substances, and also the prohibition and restriction on handling of hazardous substances in different areas, and also the prohibition and restrictions on location of industries and to carry on operations in different areas. So the procedures and safeguards for the prevention of accidents which may cause environmental pollution. So the procedures and safeguards for the this prevention for the accidents, so which may also cause the environmental pollution. So here the Environmental Protection Act, it has given powers to the central government. So this it has to take the measures to protect and also it has to improve the environment. So while the state government coordinate the actions, so different actions, the standards of air quality, it should have standards of air quality of air, soil, water, and in various areas, and the maximum permissible limits of concentration of various environmental pollutants for different areas, the procedures of safeguards for the handling of substances, and also prohibition and restrictions on handling of hazardous substances in different areas. So here the power of entry and inspection are power to take sample lives with central government, and it is used to improve the quality of environment standards have given under schedule 1 to 4. So here this act, Environmental Protection Act, this is to improve the quality of the environment. So this is to improve the quality of environment standards. So this has given under schedule 1 to 4. So standards this have given for emission gases, pollutants, and discharge of wastewater from industries. And in this Environmental Protection Act 1986, the standards has given for emission gases, pollutants, and also discharge of wastewater from the industries. And these standards vary from industry to industry and also vary with the medium into which the effluent discharge and area of emission. So in Environment Protection Act, we have they have given some points. So here the they have given as some acts the standards of quality of air and water and soil for various areas, the maximum permissible limits of concentration of various pollutants, and the procedures and safeguards, and also prohibition and restrictions of handling hazardous substances, and prohibition and restrictions on location of industries, and to carry on process, to carry on operation in different areas, and also they have given the power of entry and inspection, and the power to take sample lies with central government, and this is to improve the quality of the environment. So here the Environmental Protection Act, this is mainly focused on to improve the quality of environment. So these standards, so this has given in schedule 1 to 4, the standards have given for emission gases, pollutants, and discharge of wastewater from industries. So these standards vary from industry to industry and also vary with the medium into which the effluent discharged and area of emission. For example, the maximum permissible limits of BOD of wastewater is 30 ppm if it is discharged into inland waters. So the example of so the standards vary from industry to industry and also vary with the medium into which the effluent discharged and area of the emission. So example of this is the maximum permissible limits of BOD of wastewater is 30 ppm if it is discharged into inland waters, 350 ppm in public sewer, and 100 ppm in coastal region. So here the state pollution control boards, so these have to follow the guidelines provided under schedule 6. Here they have to the state pollution control boards have to follow the guidelines provided under schedule 6. So they have to advise the industries for treating the wastewater and gases, so with best available technology to achieve the prescribed standards. So the industries have to be encouraged for recycling and reusing the waste. They have to encourage the industries for recovery of biogas, energy, and reusable materials. So the central and state boards have to emphasize on implementation of clean technologies. So by the industries in order to increase fuel efficiency and also reduce the generation of environmental pollutants. So, under the Environmental Protection Rules 1986, an amendment was made in 1994. So, under Environmental Protection Rules 1986, an amendment was made in 1994. So, for environmental impact assessment of various development projects. So, there are 29 types of projects listed under Schedule 1 of the rule, which require clearance from the central government before establishing. Next one is Air Act 1981. So here what is a air pollutant? What is the definition of air pollutant? So air pollutant means it is a solid, any solid or liquid or gaseous substance, so which is present in atmosphere, in such concentration as may be or tend to be injurious to the human beings. So the solid, liquid, gaseous substance present in atmosphere in such concentration as may be or tend to injurious to human beings or other living beings, so or plants or property or environment. So these are called as air pollutants. So air pollution means the presence of pollutants in the atmosphere. So these are called is called as air pollution. So that is air is said to be air is polluted air. So here the presence of air pollutants in the atmosphere, so called as air pollution. So the Air Act 1981. So this is mainly focused on prevention and control of pollution, air pollution. So the Act provides for prevention, control, and abatement of air pollution. So this Act mainly provides for prevention, control, abatement of air pollution. So the air pollution, it is defined as the presence of any solid, liquid or gaseous substances in atmosphere in such concentration tend to be harmful to human beings or any other living creatures or plants. So here air pollution also, we know that it is the presence of any solid or liquid or gaseous substance in the atmosphere in such concentration which are tend to harmful to the human beings and other creatures and any other living creatures and plants. So this is called as air pollution. And noise pollution, it has been inserted as pollution in the act in 1987. So under section 17, the central and state pollution control boards have to check whether industries are strictly following the standards regarding the discharge of emission of any air pollutants based upon the analysis analysis consent. It is based upon the analysis, consent is granted or refused to the industry. So according to AIR Act 1981, under section 17, the central and state pollution control boards have to check whether the industries are strictly following the standards regarding the discharge of emission of any air pollutants. So based upon these analysis, so consent is granted or refused so to the industry. So and according to section 19, the state government declared an area within the state as air pollution control area. So according to section 19, the state government declared an area within the state as an air pollution control area. So no person should establish any industrial unit without prior consent of state pollution control board. So according to section 20 of the act, the section 20 of the act has provision for ensuring emission standards from the automobiles. So here this is having a provision for ensuring emission standards from the automobiles. So according to section 31 of Air Act, a provision for appeals has been made. So the appellate authority consisting of single person or three person appointed by the governor. So it is constituted to hear such appeals as filled by some industry due to some order made by state board within 30 days of passing the orders. So this is this is about Air Act 1981. So this is mainly focused on prevention and control of pollution. So here, so this in this session I have discussed about uh, Environmental Act 1986 and also Air Act 1981. So with this I'm concluding the session. So thank you so much.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.